But at number 10, we have Swerve and Osprey versus the Young Bucks, where if the Young Bucks lost, they could no longer be EVPs of the company. That was the stipulation. If you go back to like towards like just watch like first of all the whole match was fire, but if you go back and watch like the last 5 minutes, that 1 45-second spot of just moves on top of moves on top of moves is just like excellent if you're into that sort of thing. Because I know a lot of people hate that sort of thing, but
Yeah.
sometimes, bro, you just got to like Willie say, go touch wrestling grass, man. It's okay. Everybody, King Kong Bundy's dead, and that style of wrestling is over. Like it's not. Yeah, dog. Sometimes there are other styles of wrestling. All right, number 9, I have Cena versus Styles at Crown Jewel. Like everybody says, it was a love letter and a thank you to professional wrestling. But like I said, for storyline purposes, it was just that, hey, let's just do this because we can. Nothing really invested in it, nothing really to go off of. Even though the wrestling was amazing, superior. The calling on the fly in the ring, everything, because Cena gonna let you know what the next spot is. It was perfect, but for storyline purposes, can't do it. And number 8, I got Sami Zayn versus KO at Elimination Chamber. For you could tell them two boys really trust each other, love each other, because the shit they was doing in that match, like you could
Yeah,
tell
that's the
they're
only
best
thing
friends.
you trust somebody with. Yeah.
Yeah, you could just
For
tell they've
sure.
been doing this like forever. Like they could do this match in their sleep because the stuff they was doing in that match it was like, damn, do they really like each other? Number 7, I have Punk versus Seth versus Roman at WrestleMania 41. Another amazing match. And to the people out there going to be like, what? How could you? Just because of the placement on the match doesn't mean that I don't think the match was great. First of all, it made a top 10 list of matches for the year. When you have to put things in order sometimes, even though it's great, now you have to start nitpicking. Now you kind of have to start pulling at straws about what you liked, what you didn't like. And now we have to start playing with, not going to say that. No, mercy.
Sorry, man. You
No,
play with
no,
it.
no,
You
no,
play with
no,
it
it's
if you
not.
want to.
No, 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 it's not. Mercy. We find things that we can nitpick in order to put them in a specific place. We have Sayaka Kamatani versus Nakano. Excellent student versus teacher, career versus career, the pinnacle of long term storytelling. Like the absolute pinnacle. This was going on 10 plus years of this journey. So, excellent match, strong style, women's wrestling. Number 5, I have Will Ospreay versus Kyle Fletcher from Forbidden Door in the cage match.
Mm-hmm.
Like Kyle Fletcher's the future. Will Ospreay was the MVP of the year if he didn't get hurt. Man, so shout out to Ospreay. Hope he bounces back very soon. But high flying, brutality, whatever you needed in that match, it was there. It had one of the craziest visuals. If you look at the start of the match with them both climbing to the top of the page, to the top of the page, to the top of the cage, and just standing there and death staring at each other and not moving, and the camera going around in a circle, just looking at both their view at each other from on top of the cage. Perfect. Number 4, I have Moxley versus Page, another pinnacle of long term storytelling. How the title was finally free, brutality, run-ins with Darby coming back and descending from the top of the arena, with DB coming back with the Death Riders, with Swerve helping out his rival, his arch enemy, with passing him the chain. Beautiful storytelling. Number 3, I have Mariah May versus Tony Storm, the Hollywood ending. If you have a theme here towards the closer to the end, we're doing storylines here. We're doing storyline about how you can get in top billing. Just excellent. The Hollywood ending, the match that should have closed the show, because how does anybody follow that? How did anybody come after that match for the brutality, from things that they say, quote unquote, women aren't supposed to do in wrestling, but women want to be considered just wrestlers. They don't want to be say, I'm a female wrestler. I'm a wrestler. If men go through tables, why I can't go to a table? If men fall on tacks, why can't I fall on tacks? If men bleed, why can't I bleed? It's a beautiful match. I want anybody to go back and watch that match and tell me that's not professional wrestling. Number 2, I have Kenny Omega versus Gabe Kidd at Wrestle Dynasty. The story, this was like Kenny's big match, come back from his diverticulitis, and they played on that through the entire sequence of the match of him not being 100%, Gabe Kidd being the new kid on the block and wanting to take his soul and take his spot. And number one, like Willie stated, didn't say that I couldn't find any flaws in this match. Big stakes, big everything. Everybody showed up. Everybody played their part. Everybody was where they were supposed to be. I have Io Sky versus Bianca versus Rhea at WrestleMania 41 as my top match of the year. I had to watch it again twice yesterday just to make sure that, like Willie said, I was going back trying to nitpick and trying to pull straws, and I couldn't find anything to say like, nah, this doesn't deserve to be number one. So that is my top 10, and that is my number one pick for match of the year.